Well, happy to be live. I'm going midday. Uh, I'm going midday to get you guys all gassed up. Happy Friday to you. Going midday just to get you guys what you need for today. Taibu Mu'addib here. I have one heck of a show for you guys because I have to collab them in the middle of the day. So I'm giving you some sharecropper report and some live your truth. It should be pretty awesome. Uh, so moving forward, if you want to start your own business, make sure that you get your licensing and certifications. All right. Don't hot dog it. All right. Get what you need to be successful. The worst thing that can happen is when people start trying to run a business and they just they seen somebody else do it and thought they could do it. He thought it would be easy. License and certifications. Now, don't get me wrong. If your certification comes with a subscription, we have to continue to pay into it to keep it going. I say just pay initially to get the education, but don't pay people to say you're legit, right? So when I passed the American Council Exercise exam at the University of Wisconsin, after that, there was no sense in me paying them $100, $200 a year, whatever, whatnot, just to be currently active on their roster, right? I had learned how to market, how to help folks, how to do my scientific measurements and things of that nature, heart rate, target heart rate, resting heart rate. So that I'll learn what I needed from them, and then I move forward. All right. Great personal trainer for many, many years. And now I coach online. I give you my voice. I give you the motivation and the roadmap for many of you. Now, what I want to say mostly about coaching and speaking is that I have the opportunity to really one-on-one work with many of you. Over the past 3 years, exclusively, I've been online coaching and mentoring, counseling, and motivating people towards their goals. The most important thing is I have individuals. It's crazy. I'm sorry, my phone's busy today, blowing up. But I want to welcome you today because I'm blessed to bring to you the MC Hammer, Rise and Fall, right? Now, if you didn't know my signature speech was Jack and the Beanstalk, I'm going to take the MC Hammer story today to give you guys the daily motivation that you need to walk your goal out. Many of you are afraid to talk to me. You think I'm going to sell you something. I'm not. I can't even help many of you because you're beyond my expertise, right? But most of you just need two things: a greater level of effort and a winning strategy, a better plan. I can't force any of you to stay committed. I'll say it again. I cannot force any of you to stay committed to your goal. So the 6-month program, the 6-month course curriculum that I set you upon, I can't force you to stay committed. But what I can do is I can help you to see that you're only hindering yourself if you're not willing to put more effort into your goal. And I can definitely help you create a winning strategy because I myself am living one. All right. You want to work with somebody willing to work with you, someone that has what they call lived experience. And I have a ton of that. All right. I know what it's like to be darkened in your mind and not know that you're the main issue. The morning sharecropper report was to remind many of you that you're stuck in a system that's designed to drag you deeper into debt. That no matter how good of a person you are, how motivated you feel some days, or how smart and intelligent you are, the bottom line is if you're in the sharecropper system, if you don't address that, then you'll probably live not only in poverty your whole life or in debt, which is a more even serious mental issue. And then also you'll be dragged down emotionally because now you're never fulfilled or fulfilling your capabilities. That's a tough life. All right. So I want you all to know that today, as I podcast today, I want you all to know that this MC Hammer rise and fall story is to inspire you to greatness. The young man didn't start out rich. All right. He didn't. But it's to inspire you to know that a winning strategy involves an end game. Now, if you were watching this share copy report earlier this week, I broke down for you using different examples in different people, right? To say, look, poor people, sharecroppers don't plan for the future. You don't plan for the future. MC Hammer didn't plan for the future. He got rich, he got money, he blew it all. And many of you are just like that. Let me tell you guys something that happened to me. Oh, yeah. I came into some thousands. And instead of taking those thousands and making this company what it should be, I threw an event, paid a lot of people, had one great week. Bought nice stuff. I still have it. One great week. I bet it all on that. I just threw it all into that. Just I wanted to do one thing one time and see what it was like to be on my own stage. I did all this stuff with that money, and I put very little of it into the vehicles that I needed post that event to service you guys. So the last 2 years I've spent rebuilding and filling that hole, filling that void, filling that gap. But I had the money to do it 2.5 years ago. So I noticed, like, on a much, much smaller level, a micro level compared to his success, I know what it's like to come into money and because I didn't have money, to just enjoy having money for as long as that money lasted. I didn't have an end game. I didn't have a vision or a goal. So I didn't have a winning strategy on what to do with that money. So many of you have been in that same case, from car accident settlement to harassment complaint at work to family leaving you money. Many of you have come into money, and because you didn't have money going in, you had no idea what to do with it, but enjoy it for as long as it lasted. So there are a bunch of MC Hammers watching my show today, and I know you are. I'm going to help you out. I want you to get there. All right. I want you to get there. Make sure that you guys are subscribing to my YouTube channel. If you don't, come 2024, you will be left out in the cold. All right. So it's not pasting right now. I got to go get it again. Blase Skippy. All right. Sorry about that. I copy it before I come on, but for some reason, TikTok don't be wanting to throw it up there. So I'm pinning this up here. To watch the full episode, go over to my YouTube channel and get this MC Hammer rise and fall. Now, because I have to infuse my sharecropper report in with my Live Your Truth, because I'm doing some stuff in the evenings now to be a blessing to other people in different ways. Remember, if you don't see me online live, I'm helping someone. All right. That's what I'm doing with my life now. Again, I aspire to be a successful and really well-known motivational speaker. And this is a great way to start. To gain credibility, helping people get results on an individual basis over the last couple of years, the hundreds that I've helped. You guys can look on my page. You can see the folks. You can see the case studies and the people that have spoken out on my behalf. You can see them. All right. Won't stay too long in that. Let me get to the content. So when I go to my screen share, we're going to have some fun today. When I go to my screen share, MC Hammer was once like a force, and people who don't know much about him, I was alive and well and loving music when he came out, right? So, but MC Hammer, man, he had a lot more success than many of the artists that you guys love today. It's pretty easy to get your music out now because of the internet and access to being seen and heard. But the bottom line is, back in his day, you had to go through a huge process, and you had to have the big dogs bless you for you to get into the game. All right. Let me start, as I usually do, with some motivation. Let me get you guys this speaking content. This motivation speaking content. I want to go to the screen share. I want to motivate you guys. I love motivational speaking, and I want you guys to know, get motivational speaking into your life. Make listening to at least 15 minutes of motivational speaking, even if it's my podcast. Hopefully my podcast, because I'm definitely motivating you guys. But get into the motivational speaking, man, space. Give yourself an opportunity to get some of this motivating, man, because you really want to have it. All right. All right, there we go. So I'm gonna play this little snippet, but I want you guys to kind of feel the motivation. I listen to motivational speaking every day. I have a few favorite people, but I listen to motivation because in a world where people do nothing but talk you down, hate on you and your success, and try and in various different ways try to distract you from your goal, the motivational speaking that I provide and other motivational speakers provide, man, it's golden. It's priceless. So make sure that you take about 15 minutes of your day to listen and let your mind and your soul and your heart feel the motivational speaking that we put out there into the industry. All right, let's go.
I waited painfully in obscurity for the opportunity to take the throne. I am your replacement. Your rejection has forged a new fire inside of me. Man, I'm climbing the ladder. I'm bringing my team. I'm coming for magazines and movie screens, billboards and awards, movie scores and labels. I'm signing checks and contracts on every table. I'm no longer stuck in the basement, stuck in the gutter. I'm leaving the casket. You saved me, vacant. You were here, my feet walking the pavement. No more complacent, driven, persistent, and relentless are all an understatement. Who am I? I'm sorry, not sorry. I am unapologetically your replacement. I have worked while you have slept. I have learned while you have partied. I have saved while you have spent.
And I'll stop it right there. The man said, I have saved while you have spent. And that's the bottom line. Get that motivational speaking in your soul, man. It's the real deal. I can't state it enough. All right. So MC Hammer, the rise and fall. If you don't know the story of MC Hammer and how that man really, really shot up to superstardom and then fell off, we can go to an article in the LA Times. All right. The man's from California originally. So we can go to an article, and I'll screen share this. Remember, I only give you guys a portion just so you guys can know, where to get the information. But if you want daily motivation, look no further than MC Hammer. Now, my signature speech is Be More. And to beef up my signature speech, I use the tale of Jack and the Beanstalk. It's there's a lot to be said. We're all Jack and Jill's and the Beanstalk. We all have a Beanstalk story. All right. So I found so much in that story, so much foundational messaging in that story that's how I use that to be a pillar for my signature speech, which is Be More. Be more. Just those two words. Be more. Right. Many of you are watching this podcast right now, and you were thinking before you logged on, how can I be more? What must I do to be more? You have to be more to have more. You have to be more to see more. You have to be more to bring the kind of social acceptance and applause that you want in your life. Got to be more. There's no way around it. So I use Jack, and I'm going to break down for you in a minute how the MC Hammer tale fits into my Be More story. All right. what it says over here, if you're over here on my YouTube page, which you should be by now, all right, go over there and link in, log in. Let's get it going. Let me go ahead and put that in there because they don't have it over here yet. To watch the full episode with the screen share and all the effects, subscribe to my page, my YouTube page, Taibu Mu'addib 4019. And you guys don't subscribe. 2024, you're gonna miss out. You're gonna be looking for my episode. Where's he at? Where's he at? The YouTuber. The storyline is a show business staple. One of the fortunes made and then lost of warnings not heeded and lessons learned painfully late. Some of y'all out there, y'all stubborn. Y'all stubborn. It's MC Hammer's story too, and one that's already been well documented. Is there anything left to tell of the one-time rapper's $33 million rise and bankruptcy filing fall? Now, you guys can go on your computers and look at how much 33 million was in the 80s. I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you because I want to know. Forget y'all. Y'all don't gotta do. I'm gonna be doing. Let me see. How much was 33 million? I love this. Worth in the 80s. Let's go. $33 million in the 80s, people, is worth $123 million today. All right. So that should show you the kind of success MC Hammer had. Yeah. 9 figures. 9 figures. Let that sink in. All right. His original name is Stanley Kirk Burrell, right? A more objective answer to the question might be no, but that doesn't mean that familiar components don't generate a certain disaster film appeal. The story breathlessly scans Hammer's ascent from street urchin to chart topper and the jaw-dropping spending spree that follows. It's very compelling. MC Hammer was quoted as saying, "It's only money. If we don't spend it, we might as well drown in it." Okay. So it talks about the VH1 special that was coming out or whatever. But it broke down for us just, the simple points. All right. And look, you can say what you want to say about MC Hammer, but I'm telling you right now, the man did his thing. You don't think so? I don't care if you don't like music, because I'm finna put some music on here. All right. Let's look at what MC Hammer did at the height of his career. And I don't care what y'all say. I'm gonna get it popping. MC Hammer had a career of 10 years. A lot of artists today that you like probably might make one album. And sadly, a lot of artists that we like are dying really young after that first album. It's crazy. But in reality, so his career was super successful as far as the longevity of it in the music industry, which is very, very fickle. All right. Let me screen share some of this video content so y'all can see what made MC Hammer great back in his day, right? What people wanted. And the man, I mean, kind of like that guy that does the Broadway thing, Hamilton. Like, that was how big MC Hammer was. The way Hamilton took over doing his little rap thing, pale boy, light skin, doing his little rap thing, whatever, whatnot, and how big that was for, the crossover audience. MC Hammer had that back in the 80s and made a lot more money than that guy Hamilton did. Trust me. Let's check him out.
And the winner is MC Hammer.
You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
So the man, much to your chagrin, if you don't like his style of music, the man had the favorite rap album and was favorite rap artist in his day. Okay, let's be real. That's a big deal. If you were the heavyweight champion, I don't care what day, what era it was in, that was a big deal when you did it. Right? So MC Hammer was the heavyweight champion of rap music in his day. Right? He did it without talking about shooting his op or busting a BITCH down. He did that. He did that without talking about riding around strapped. He did that without talking about smoking weed, popping perks, and drinking syrup. That's for all you young people who aspire to do music. He did all that then. He did all that in the time when the crack and the gangster and the dope game and all that stuff really started to hit the streets. And every project can get on America. So you don't have to want to be a fake tough person to make it in the rap game or the music industry. You just have to be unique.
You can't touch this. You can't touch
all right,
this.
Enough of that. So, but he went from the highest heights to becoming a laughingstock, and I'll break that down. Let me show you what that looks like. All right, when you become a joke, right? Okay. Not specifically. MC Hammer himself is a joke. Don't get me wrong. The man's a good dude. I'm saying when the industry, all right. So when the industry turns on you and folks turn on you, this is what happens. And a lot of you have had to suffer this kind of embarrassment in your schools, at your place of employment, because you weren't humble about a promotion or about coming up or about your family getting money and stuff like that. You weren't humble about it. And when you fell, this is what you look like right here. Wacky D. Let's go.
Cause I'm the wackiest, there's no question. I can dance in my pants and in your face. Yeah, my rap is a disgrace, but I can dance. I got sun, I got shine. Who's back hardcore cause I'm going for mine. Did I mention before that I can dance?
It's crazy. So the movie CB4 makes a joke out of MC Hammer and his career in comparison to the guy Albert that wants to be a rap artist, like a gangster rap artist, right? So his girlfriend's all about, come on, Wacky D's on, imitating MC Hammer, the parachute pants and all that. And I guess lack of lyrical content. It's interesting that many of us just don't see it for what it is. But in our mind's eye, we have to know that's the bottom line. The tough part about this thing right here is trying to see this. All right. Now, from a financial standpoint, my artificial intelligence friend says there were several personal decisions that contributed to the loss of MC Hammer's fortune. One of the main factors was his extravagant spending habits. Now, yesterday on the sharecropper report, the young lady that she was poor and then now she's financially stable and financially free. She did her own little article about things, and I showed the article to you guys, and it said that the habits and the standard of poor people of sharecropping, one of them is buying junk food, buying things you don't really need. What purpose that serves, I don't know. But I've challenged you personally. To try your best to look over your last 30 days of your bank statement. Look at the things that you bought that you didn't need to get some coaching. You can buy into your 6-month coaching program for like $250, like $239 some change or something like that. If you get the whole program, it's $1,200 for the 6 months. Go ahead and knock it out right away. It's up to you how you want to choose to finance it and pay it for it. But the bottom line is, you have that $250 to tap in with me and get on your path to success, to reach your goal, to have a coach and a mentor, a guide, put a roadmap out for you, and help you use a proven method for success as far as personal improvement is concerned. So you deserve that for 2024. I'm only talking about MC Hammer's Rise and Fall because of my signature speech, which is Be More. If you get yourself to a place where you come into money, but you never had it before, like him, you're going to blow it. I gave my personal story earlier. It is what it is. So for many of you that want to have more and have never had more before, if you don't have that end game portion, if your vision and your goal doesn't end somewhere, right, somewhere predictable, then more often than not, you'll get that raise, you'll get that promotion, you'll get that settlement, and you'll blow that money. And I make those brief pauses to let you know that it's real. So for Christmas, what I want to do for you guys is I want to make sure that I have a component for you where I can do it two different ways. I can bring you into the program on a trial basis, right? And that costs you nothing. Or I can bundle two programs in one and bring you in at half off. For Christmas, I'll do that. I'll do that for each of you. If that's something that makes sense to you or sounds good to you after all of the free access you've had to my tips and my advice and my entertaining, right? What does it look like for you? Now, don't get me wrong. That's a blessing for you guys, but you still have to be accepted. And I'm not a good fit, and my program is not a good fit for everybody. So let me get the disclaimer right now. You have to be accepted into the program before you can make good on because there's no sense in me giving a free trial membership to someone that's not a good fit to stay on. Does that make sense? All right. So you get a free trial membership to check out what we're doing at First Step Coaching, or you can come right in and get bundled. So like 2 for 1 and come in at half off. And if that sounds good to you, then make sure you tap in with me, you inbox me, you make a comment like, raise your hand, put a hand sign in there. I like the hands up, right? No words necessary. Put the hand up. You're good. Let's go. Taibu Mu'addib, man. What's happening today is I'm blending 2 podcasts into one in the middle of the day because I have some evening stuff going on. That's pretty good. Pretty good for some folks. So I'm always in the service industry. So I'm always servicing folks. So helping folks to get things done is important to me. That's what I'm all about. That's what you see, the podcast microphone behind me. That's what I'm into. Man, so 1, sharecropping. 2, Civil War. 3, MC Hammer, Rise and Fall. Personal decisions, man. Personal decisions. It says right there when I'm screen sharing, it says right there that his extravagant spending is what was the probably the main reason. Like, bruh, you were, living in some meager situations. So when you got that money, why not put the money up or invest in something long term, that would be there when your album stops selling. Every NFL player with the dream to be great in the game still has to go into it knowing the statistical shelf life for their position. Quarterbacks is so many years, running backs is so many years, wide receivers is so many years, linebackers is so many years, offensive tackles is so many. You know what I'm saying? Every position has a shelf life they already know going in. So once I get drafted, the clock is running for me to take that money and invest it properly so it's there once my shelf life is up. Now, I'm in rarefied air because as a coach and speaker, as long as I have my mental facilities, I can do this throughout. When I stop this, I'm passing it on to somebody young and hungry and can continue to help you guys under the First Step Coaching logo and banner. I enjoy the process that I go through with my clients of taking basically a empty canvas, and we paint that beautiful life for you. We paint that picture for you. This beautiful life for myself. Let me tell you something right now. When I became conscious, the very first thing that I did was create a winning strategy. And I'm walking that out. Creating a winning strategy goes like this. The EFC workbook is the reason that I'll be known and probably get a Nobel Peace Prize for the EFC workbook, my #1 publication, is because the beginning of it forces all of you to point the thumb. Point the thumb. Got to point that thumb, man. Got to point that thumb. If you don't point that thumb, you can't be more, because no one is born with everything that they need to be more. No one's born with it. Sorry. If you thought you was born ready to come up, you're not. No one's born with the ability to be more. We have to gain those skills. We have to get it right. When you see the link for the EFC workbook, go ahead and get that done. I'm going to go ahead and film some of this for my folks over on LinkedIn, my new family on LinkedIn, to get that right. All right. So welcome over here on LinkedIn, my new platform that I'm building with the other professionals so I can help you guys stay motivated as well. The benefit to your online life coach as a licensed professional, the benefit to having Taibu as your coach is that I'm also a great motivator. You know, my leadership started as a big brother. You know, it was always like me and 5 younger brothers. Ended up with 5 younger brothers. One of us passed, may rest in peace. But I'm just saying, still, it was me and the rest of them. I was like thrust into a leadership position to where these young pairs of eyes are looking at what I'm doing. And shout out to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So, you know, there was always young people around me looking at what I was doing. Now I have my own children. Always young people in my life looking at what I'm doing. So parents, if you have a young person in your life that is kind of going awry and you don't know what to do, start with the EFC workbook. The reason it's especially important and applicable for young people, for the youth, is because they have more energy, so they can connect easier to effort, where people in their 30s and 40s who have jobs and are going through things and are beaten down by their everyday, rat race grind, it's tougher for y'all to get that effort component, which is necessary. That's the very first step. But young parents, you're young people, I'm telling you right now, the effort, focus, and commitment workbook, you sit down with them, download it and sit down with them, and let's talk about it, right? I've always worked with young people my whole entire life. Right now, I'm working with young people. My girlfriend has 2, teen sons. I'm telling you right now, the EFC workbook is where it's at. The reason that it changes things is because for your young person, the workbook asks them to look at themselves and what they want to do, not their friends, not the people online are telling them they should do. Wherever they're looking at, and look at my podcasting that I did on when young people stop listening to their parents. That's a very good podcast to listen to for you parents, whether you're 2 parents or 1 parent. If you're struggling with your teen, you need to get the EFC workbook. And I'm willing to work with the parent and the young person on a program, right? And I have a parenting 6-month course curriculum. I'm willing to work with the both of you because all we need is some measurables once we identify what that young person really wants to do. For the ones that don't know, I have a Find Your Purpose 6-month course curriculum. Just think about that. Now, I'm bringing this up because it is Christmas time. Give the gift of more. Don't give the gift of, electronic devices, things that break, you lose them, it's gone. Give the gift of goal setting and achieving. I can tell you right now that even in my own house, that's a big deal. But people are watching me do it. They have the benefit, whether they follow or not is on them. Whether you guys follow or not is on you. But they have the benefit in home of watching me set activities, set measurables, meet these marks, meet these numbers. So my goal for January 2024 is to bring on a new 40 of you. I have room. My classes, I have room. I have the time in my schedule to do our touch pointing. That's my goal for January. Many of you are going to make New Year's resolutions and you have no bridge. You have no bridge to connect you from your ideal of, oh, it's going to be great, to the final destination. There's no bridge. It's all ideal. It's all fluff. Your declaration on New Year's is the same thing as the green parsley on the steak plate. You eat the steak, but you throw that away. This is real. Now, Jack and the Beanstalk. This is how Jack and the Beanstalk plays a part in the MC Hammer Rise and Fall. Y'all thought I forgot about that. No, this is my signature speech. When I show up to your company, to your school, to your place of business, if you reach out to Taibu Mu'addib and say, come motivate us, come speak, I'm going to talk about Jack. I'm talking about Jack. Because you go through the story and you have foundational teachings of a hardworking and humble young man that found fortune, believing in being more. And then when he had to make a decision to stay connected to that beanstalk where there was still untold riches up there. The stuff he brought back was just, it helped him and his mom live better, but still there was untold riches up there. When it came time for that giant to follow him down, and I'm going to get to that in a minute, chopped it down, no question. Giant dies, keep what he has, they live good, happily ever after, they live well. But many of you, just like MC Hammer, you got right there. You were right there. And you didn't chop down the old you. You didn't chop down that connection, that vine to the old you, to the old bad spender, to the old you with the poor emotional intelligence, to the old you with that vice or habit that you just, you had worked out, but then now you're right back to it. You cycle back. You don't chop that beanstalk down. And that's why the story is so important. because many of you make incremental progress. You get a call from somebody about something. You allow some sort of distraction to pull you back. That distraction is nothing but that giant coming down the beanstalk after you. Why should your path to success be easier than mine was? They're like, why are you yelling? Because I want to know. What makes you feel like your path to success should come easier than mine came? That you don't have to work for it. That you don't have to come outside your comfort zone for it. Why should yours be easier than mine was? I was a jailbird for 30 years. Because I refused to point the thumb. Because the people in my life, they didn't have the education. They didn't know how to lead me and guide me to where I needed to be to see myself for who I really was. I went 30 years thinking I was fine. And I was as self-destructive as every one of you out there right now that's suffering from a self-destructive behavior pattern. When it comes to your money, your relationships, your children. To this day, I'm still trying to atone for not being there for my daughter when she was a little girl and she wanted her dad. To this day. Now, on the flip side, I congratulate many of you for just staying in the game. You didn't flame out, burn out, or give up. I appreciate, I applaud you. You still holding on. You holding on long enough to meet me. Like I said, this Christmas, I'm going to bring on 40 of you in January. If you want a New Year's resolution to be attached to a bridge, to bridge you from over here to your ideal, to your final destination, you need something to bridge that. You know you don't have the education, the motivation, or the roadmap to get you there. So have more than 40 of you. And I'm going to cap it at that. I apologize for those that don't make it in, but I'm doing business now. I got 40 more spots. That's all I want to make sure I can effectively touch point you guys through your course curriculum. So when it's over, it's over. So you reach out to me. Downloading the workbook is how you start. Myself or someone from my team will reach out to you. At some point, you have an opportunity to talk about your goal, your challenge, whatever the situation is, and then we see if you're a good fit. If you want, come January, it's going to be full price, everything as it should. Just want to have time to play those kind of games with you guys. But right now, just want to be a blessing. All subscriptions on all my pages or nothing, mostly on YouTube. You'll get snippets on my other platforms. But I'm telling you right now, I'm moving forward because I want to make sure that I have the resources to give back to the community in the ways I would like to. For the kids that need to hear me speak over in Oklahoma, like that one lady said, over Louisiana, for me to travel in the South, in the West, to meet people, new places, for me to go places and do these things, it's going to take, me to make sure that I'm taking care of my responsibilities and my business on the financial end of it. So the free game will now be on the road. It won't be online. But you guys can subscribe to my YouTube channel and go back and look at it. I have great teachings on here. But the new powered, Heavenly Bodies powered, first coaching, the new stuff, the dating show I'm bringing out on my platform, all the new stuff I'm going to be doing, you're going to have to pay for just a little bit. But we're going to get you to learn how to invest in yourself one way or another, even in small ways. Love you guys. I appreciate you guys. This is what it is. Jack and the Beanstalk. If you want to know personally, there was two things I did when I chopped down my beanstalk and killed that giant. And the analogy of the giant is very appropriate for all of us. If you're a gambler, that's a giant. You smoke cigarettes, you're shortening your life by 30 years. That's a giant. You know, nymphomaniac, can't think about anything else. That's a giant. Let's keep it real. If you just lack motivation, that's huge because you need it to get in the ring and fight. Two things that I did to chop down that beanstalk. The first thing I did was I made a commitment to continue to point the thumb, to never be so sure about a decision that I make that I don't ask for counsel. Shout out to all my cousins. Love you guys and you ladies. Shout out to my cousins. Love y'all. Amina, Shemaya, love y'all. Fred, Byron, love y'all. Ray, JR, love my cousins, man. Kelvin, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. I have a network of people I can bounce my stuff off of. Always pointing the thumb. That's how I'm making sure the old me doesn't take back over. Thank you very much. I'm clapping up for myself. The second thing I did to chop down, getting a little emotional. The second thing I did to chop down that beanstalk was to start investing in myself. The day I put that investment in myself, that was when everything changed for me. When I invested in my coaching certification, that was the day when things really changed for me. Was it a one-time investment? No. That's having a coach is the cost for me, is the cost of running my business. The same as the paid ads that I run. I really appreciate you guys. This is a special moment for me, man. Going in 2024, first step coaching full time, bringing out, the Guard Me gear, and getting that going for those out there who are dealing with sexual assault on a daily, hourly, minutely basis. Just seeing my end game and seeing it get closer, seeing me hit those marks, it's important. So 40 of you. So the way to start is to download the EFC workbook. I make sure I get you guys what you need. Put that in the description for you. If you want to, you need to have the workbook. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy that and get that to you. Go ahead and put this workbook in here for you guys. I want you to have the workbook. That way you guys can kick it off and get it going. Over here on LinkedIn, when I do the post, I'll put the workbook in the description for you in the post. Don't worry about it. Over here, the link is in the description. Get the workbook, download the workbook, give us an opportunity to look over what's going on with you, reach out to you, and look, take it for what it is. Take it for what it is. Those two things. It's humbling. I know. It's a system. You were more likely born into that system of sharecropping. That's not your fault. Staying in it is your fault. That's what's shocking to me. Staying in it is your fault. Don't fake it to make it. Let's get real. All right. Taibu Mu'addib, man. This was a lovely show. The Wacky D thing, I'm telling y'all, that took the cake. Let's look at that Wacky D thing again. Let me finish up MC Hammer. He invested heavily in various business ventures, many of which did not turn out to be successful. And so basically, MC Hammer, while he was spending lavishly, he also he didn't vet people. He didn't have folks he could trust in his camp. And they weren't taking care of his money and things of that nature. But let me go ahead and run the Wacky D thing. I got to get that back on there again. I'm sorry, y'all. It's just too much for me. The Wacky D thing. Let me go ahead and that movie CB4 is a trip, but yeah, the Wacky D thing for me, it just gets me like, let's just check that out.
Cause I'm the wackiest, there's no question I can dance in my pants and in your face. Yeah, my rap is a disgrace, but I can dance. I got sun, I got shine, who's back hardcore cause I'm going for mine. Did I mention before that I can dance? I'm Wacky D.
Wacky D. So, I mean, I've been that person, right? I'm that person that like shot up, was doing really, really well, and then fall back down, no humility, and I was Wacky D for a while. I have to admit it, man. Get in the comments if you were a Wacky D at some point, if you were the joke, like if you were doing well, you weren't humble, and then things came back around and stuff was tight for you, you had to just take that walk of shame. I've been there before. I think it could actually be said that every time I went back inside, I was Wacky D. You know what I'm saying? Because every time I got, I'm like, I ain't going back. I ain't going back. Who wants to be in there? I ain't going back. I ain't going back. So every time I got locked back up, like that first couple of weeks, you gotta tell folks you locked up. I mean, when y'all go on my page and see those breaks, my social media page is right, but it's just I'm telling you right now, like I can look back on it and laugh because, and don't get me wrong, and there's a victim in every crime. The victim in every crime. There is. All right. So I'm not making light of that part of it. Again, how I live my life right now is to atone for everything that I did against the community. Now work to benefit and bless and be asset of my community. But I'm just saying, I look back and laugh at my own idiocy and my behavior pattern because I'm disconnected from it now. I chopped that beanstalk down. So if you live beyond your means, we can fix that, and we'll start with getting you some coaching. So again, the Christmas special is I can bring you on for a tribe membership, no cost to you, and see if it's a good fit, so you stay, or I'll bundle programs together for you, so you get 2 for 1 and give you half off. Taibu Mu'addib, that is my show. All right, got enough of that. Appreciate y'all. Got enough of that. Let's go in that now. Got business to handle, take care of. All right. And I always get my folks over here, Facebook, Instagram. Facebook, my Facebook page is Taibu Mu'addib, First Step Coaching. A lot of extra tips and advice. So, my extra tip for today is being mindful of who you are or who you work with and who you have in your circle. There should be a few different circles that you have, right? So you have your forward thinking, your next level mentorship group, your think tank. So who's your mentor? Who's taking care of that? Who's pulling you forward? All right. Then you have your intimate, everyday motivational group. So who's inspiring you, supporting your ideals and your hopes and dreams right now? And then you have your foundation group, who keeps you rooted morally and mentally and emotionally and physically. So your workout partner, your purpose partner, who is your coach, who is that foundational team. So you should have 3 different teams. Does that make sense? That's your tip for today. Get your teams in order and make sure they're good quality people. Taibu Mu'addib, I can't wait to coach your success. Don't forget that this podcast and all my podcasts are brought to you courtesy of First Step Coaching. Right? Follow the page on Facebook for your free tips and advice and motivation. And if you're ready for a one-on-one coaching experience, please go to calendly.com/coach Taibu and get on my calendar today. That's the show.